Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. It is Wednesday. It's the 8th of June. Is it the 8th of June? Yes, I've just written it down. It's the 8th of June 2022. It's 2 o'clock and I am Sam from Bee Cafty and it is raining in this here conservatory. So, if at any point we cut off or, any of those things, we're forecast a little thunder and lightning. I'm hoping it won't affect us. I can't guarantee. So if at any point it becomes unbearable, please do let me know. I can't stop the rain, but at least I'll know that it's almost unbearable. I hope that all made sense. Now, if you are new here, I'm sorry. And if you're not, you're welcome. It's the weather can, well, we can't do anything about it, but you may, if you're not new here, you'll be used to the fact that Elsa may bark at the rain, and if you are not new here, Elsa, one of my puppies, may bark at the rain. So yeah, basically, hiya, we're going to work with what we've got and we're going to go from there and see what happens. Hello Sue James, how are you? I mean, it literally has not rained a drop all day, and it was just sort of just tinkering on the roof for a minute. Yeah. Pauline, hello, how are you? So we'll do what we can do. It can't be that bad. Rusty's outside in the rain. I don't know what he's doing. So yeah, we'll just go with what we've got. The other problem is the weather may affect the signal. So hey, should we just get into it and see what happens? I am glad you are well, Pauline. Elsa, no. Good girl. It's okay. I have a brolly handy. Yeah, I mean it's quite horrible out there. Basically, but we're going to go with what we've got. A brolly. I think I need some waders and hello Dawn. How are you? Elsa is very much the joiner for the day. She's going to be joining in and letting us know how we're doing, how we're progressing, what we could do with, I don't know, maybe doing different. Anyway, I'll just talk for a minute. I can't, sadly, of all the things I can control, the weather I can't. So, like I say, just let me know if it becomes too much. So today I want to work in my little brown journal, which I love. And is it as loud where you are as it is where I am? Anyway, we'll just go and see what happens. This is the Dina Wakley Media Journal. It's 6x6. There's 64 craft pages in it. It's marvellous, and I love it. There's lots of different. I haven't done huge amounts in this journal, but I really love it. And one of the things that I wanted to do today is I wanted to, you know how, I know. So what I wanted to do was, as crafters, as the crafty little lot we are, we're going to use this page. It opened there, seems good enough for me. We sort of end up with piles of bits of, I'm going to keep that, of bits of things that we've mopped up, that we've chopped up, that, you know, all sorts. So sometimes I think it's good if we can use these bits. See, now I've got them, I don't know what to do with them. They are some Mahusive raindrops. I haven't got my lightning thing open, so I don't know if the lightning is en route or waiting till later. But I think one of the things... Oh, there's more, look. There's more. There's more. There's always more. There's always more. But the piece that sort of struck me to use... also, yeah, I mean, let me know if the picture's okay, because if you can't see, then obviously that's... It's very bad. But the piece that struck me the most was this, because ordinarily it doesn't go with Kraft. It's not something that you would ordinarily think, oh yeah, we'll use that. It's also a lot brighter on my screen than it, I don't know whether it is on yours. Very neon. So what we're going to do, so it's about using the bits and pieces that, like I say, we used to mop up. That is from a page I did in my big Dilutions journal, using those colours. I had some paint left over, so I just swiped it onto a piece of card. I don't think it's anything specific. It's probably just some cardstock. Just generic sort of stuff. I like the yellow at the top. Hello everybody joining in. Thank you very much. Picture's fine and the sound too. Boom. I'm going to keep going. But I think sometimes we get sort of backed up with these bits and pieces within our the fodder box, I like to call it, or the, you know, the scraps pile, whatever it is that you call it. It sort of stacks up, and then realistically, how much of that do we sometimes think, well, you know, I've done that, I've left it there, that's great. Am I actually ever going to use it? Chances? Probably not. But hey, we keep them anyway, don't we? So today, what I thought I would do is, this was the piece that struck me from all of the stuff in that pile. So what I'm going to do is turn this into, I'm going to sort of cut it about there. It's all very ish, because I want to make it into a tag. Now, I've just chopped it now, and if I'd have been clever about that, I would have used a tag die that I have, you know. But there we are. So, this is just so that I've got the shape that I'm going to use. Gonna. So that is going to sit around there at some point. Used to call yours a scrap box, since watching me renamed it the fodder box. Yeah. Hello Nora. Sarah Lou, how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling a wee bit better, darling. I don't get too concerned about where the middle of things is. That looks like the middle. It's not, it turns out, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's fine. It's fine. So we'll just take that out of the way in a minute. I just wanted to show you, because that's ultimately what's going to go in. I didn't want it to shock you as it re-entered the room. I want to break up the background, and to do that I'm going to put my scissors away so that you can see what I'm doing, and grab my small words. Now, I do have a backing card for these, I have assured myself. I just don't know where it is. We're going to use every stamp that's on there. Some are upside down, because I don't worry about how I've put them back on there. And then ink on again. Change the orientation. Dictionary toilet paper. Put it that way. And in a matter of just a second or two, we've got something on the page. We've broken it up. We've changed how it looks. There we go. My work here is done. Well, I'm joking, obviously. Hello, Louisa. how are you? Hello, anyone I've missed. I'm very sorry if I did. It was not my intention. And then I'm going to grab the Art Elements 3 and this guy, this one. So a lot of free stamping today. I know I love my slims and my super skinnies, but I don't want any sort of, I don't want any edges. I don't, you know. Oh no, they were the right way around. I've changed them so that they were different. Oh, they'll be right. They will be the right way around after this. I changed. What I meant was I knew. Oh no, I'm not that much of a rebel. Come on now. It just occurred to me, Beth used this in Try It Out Tuesday last night, didn't she? This set. Never mind. The problem is I'm obsessed with it. I am obsessed because it's this. It's always this. It's always this. Okay. So having found my tag that I want, and if you look, it sort of already is set out from the page straight off the bat. But I thought, well, I want to tie it in a little bit. Now, I love washi tape. Don't know about you. Thanks for your happy post. It's just arrived. My absolute pleasure. I don't know whether you've seen. This is our Bee Cafty tape, and it means that we can make our own. Now, I love this one. Well, I love all of them, but this one, it's got a name. It's got a name. I think it's just white script. I never cut it or peel it straight, so that's why it never comes off in one bit. Unless I do that. The reality is I'm just going to rip it up anyway. So if that's going to sit there, I'm just going to rip myself a bit of that off. Sorry, I probably should have showed you how it looks. Can you see that? It's cool. It's very cool. And I'll keep that there. Like I said, I don't want edges, so I'm going to rip the middle out of that and pop that to the side and go top to bottom. I'll trim the edges off at the end because I don't know. If it's a good set, it is a good set. That is so true, Bev. So basically at the moment I'm just trying to make sure that I haven't got any straight bits, because that's not what I want. Sometimes I like straight edges. Today's just not one of those days. This is your favourite washi. The thing about it is, all these bits that I've got left I'll keep, because under my green mat that's under my blending mat, I keep all of my, what do we call them? The non-stick craft sheets. Non-stick craft sheets. Non-stick craft sheets. That's what we call them. Shazza! I hope that's how you hear me say it when I write it online. Because if it's not, that is how I'm saying it, okay? So that. And again, it's just a bit ish. And then, like I say, having noticed that this was the bit that I wanted to use, I took the liberty, I'm just going to put this on the piece of mat that I'm about to show you, of getting my stencil tape, getting the colours that were on here, which, if you want to know, are three of my absolute favourites: Lemon Drop, brilliant yellow, Tropical Sangria, and Mango Punch. But obviously, whatever you've got in your... Oh, this is brilliant. My laptop has just closed and now I can't see you. Oh, there we are. It makes you smile every time. Ah, well, that's good then. So there, Mango Punch, Tropical Sangria, Lemon Drop. But again, if you're using stuff out of your fodder box, tie it in with whatever, if you can remember, if you want to. You might not want to tie it in. You might not care. And there's nothing wrong with that, I would just like to say. You know? Okay, so I made some, the colour really doesn't, it might be showing up on yours, it's not showing up on mine, but if I put those next to it, hopefully you can see that they are all of the same palette. It's very zingy here. We'll just leave that there, okay? So essentially what we've got now is our own washi tape that ties in with what we're doing. Bring this back. Now, I don't want any straight edges, remember? So if I was to put that there, it'd just be a bit sort of, I don't know, like a bit, on this occasion, a bit much. Imagine me saying that, a bit much. So just ripping those edges off. And we might use those for something else. I don't mind a bit of straight, I just don't want it completely straight, you know. You might not, you might think I'm completely bonkers. And that's okay, because you would be right. So, there. And like I say, I'll trim that all off in a minute. If I lift that bit back up, put that bit on there underneath, then that bit back over the top, it'll hide the straight edge. Job's a good one. And again, I can just place that back there to see where we're at. And realistically, without, is it raining? Yeah, it's really raining. It's rainier than a rainy thing. I mean, I've done 3 pieces of this tape. I really don't think I'm going to need it. But the great thing about that is I've still got it. It will just live on the Teflon non-stick sheet under my desk. Well, not under my desk, under my mat. And it will live there. And that'll be that. And the only job that this washi tape has to do is just to break up the page a little. You know? You have sun. Yeah, but you didn't share it. That's the problem, Joe. You took your sun and you kept it. You didn't play nicely. I'm joking. We have had sun all morning. It's been absolutely glorious. As me and Bev tell you on most Wednesdays when we get here, we volunteer in the village and go... That's the voice. Oh, it's reminded you that I need to do the school run. I think you've got 2 chances there, Bevalar. Just saying. Alright. Now, if you want to seal this washi tape in, you can. Bit of collage medium over the top, matte medium, or whatever medium you like. Okay. So, where's my scissors? I mean, I'm sure I could have found a bigger pair if I'd have tried. Do you think? Or if you don't want to put collage medium over the top, you could get your brayer and just give it a good thumping down. You had rain last night. It's see, it's pretending that it's not trying to rain, and it is. So that's a little unfair, isn't it? Muriel, hello, are you late? Oh, no, nobody's late. We don't, there's no registers. No. Why does it always rain at school run time? I don't know, it just does though, doesn't it? So annoying. Okay, let's grab, I use those so much, don't I? Again, I'm not sticking that down yet because I'm not entirely sure that that's what I want to do. So until I am, there we go. Pauline, had a nice morning, but it poured down when you came out of the dentist. Okay, we're going to grab this guy here. And it's going to sit behind there. I'm going to stamp it in black. And I am going to use my Super Skinny for it. This is the thing. I always say I'm not going to do things. And then I'm like, ooh, well, actually, yeah. So that's over the top of everything we've done. And again, the tag keeps coming back. Because it's okay. I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs. They're doing the wall of death around the house. I'm just going to carry on like it's not happening. Is this tag Dilutions paint? Yes, it is. It's these three. Lemon Drop, Tropical Sangria and Mango Punch. They're the three that we used to make it. So it's from a page I did... Yeah, crying at the cost of the dentist. It's important we don't fall in love with the background because this is going to be... But I think we might need to bring this over and put it down in this corner that way. So that's what we're going to do. And the great thing about doing pages where you're using... I nearly said old stock then. You know what I mean? So you're using your scraps, your fodder box stuff, all of those things. Because you're not actually... You're not wasting anything. In fact, you're making the most of everything, aren't you? You know? It's so zingy. Zingy. See, I think I must have the settings on my laptop wrong. Because you're like over there. And the colour doesn't look anything like on there what I'm looking at. So I'm glad you can see the actual pizzazz. That probably wasn't the right word, but never mind. Of this. I'm just looking for something because we need a centerpiece here, don't we? We need a something. I'm still deciding what that's going to be. So the great thing about that is, while we're thinking about it, we can add to the background, and then this can be the ka-ching at the end. Again, probably not the right word. I'm okay with that. I actually am. So has anybody been crafting today? Pauline's been to the dentist. I'm not a fan of going to the dentist. And I just keep popping that back so that I can work out where, if anywhere, I want to put more things. I know that Bev hasn't been crafting today because I've been with her all day, so I know I can speak for Bev. But she's the only one. Just grab those small numbers. Oh, Jan, no, please don't come in and say sorry. That's not necessary at all. There's a little gap there. Found something to go in there. No bother. No little problem at all there. Do you ever, when you're crafting at home, do you ever just sit and think, right, hold on, let's just whoa a minute. Let's just whoa and stop and see what I need. What do I actually need? Who's on the page behind? No one. Who's on the page in front? No one. Excellent. Because I think, unfortunately, she's just caught my eye out the corner of the... and I think we're going to have to... Whatever works it up. I think... Because I think she's just... I don't know if I've still got my So I keep all the acetates for these. But I don't know. I just think she is going to look fabulous across there. She is. She is. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Detention, I tagged you ages ago. That's funny. Sarah Lou, are you dishing out detentions because it was your birthday yesterday? Yeah, so this is from the Whatever Works set. And she's awesome. She just is. She's so pretty. Now, ordinarily, I don't know that I would have stamped her face on that piece of whatever. Boys, sorry, I'm just going to tell them off. Excuse me, could you please just stop it? So let's bring her back. Oh, like... There is a reason that I love these stamps. It just is. I mean, she's just brilliant. Okay, let's pop her back out of the way a second because we are going to need a micron. So go for my staple set. Love these guys. Yeah, you're shaking. They're not. They don't care. So we'll just put a little around there. Now the great thing about this is because it's an old tag. Well, it's not. It wasn't even a tag when we started, was it? The paint's entirely dry. I'm not going to come down that side because I don't want to come down the side of her face. But I'm going to go along there. Hey Joan, how are you? I'm just sitting looking at her for a minute. I just am. You know? So there we are. And I'd sort of toyed with what I was going to do. They're still playing. They don't care. I was toying what to do as a sentiment. So do I think that's going to be too much. I was going to pop that sort of over the corner there. But I just think it's going to be too much. So I'm thinking I'm going to go the opposite way and make a little flag post there. I mean, we're not there yet. You're praying the baby stays asleep for a bit longer. Do you want me to talk quietly? Should I do that? So what I want now is, I'm just about ready to stick her down. Just about. You know, we don't want to get too sort of... So, some of the circles, which is, sorry, this one off here. And I want those for a reason. And it's so that... They're quite cool in those little circles, aren't they? That's perfect. See? Just like me. Taking that one and keeping it. Sorry, I need to stand up to grab me heat gun because I didn't unhook it from its place where it lives. Just have a little waft. Little waft. Sorry if I'm missing out on anybody's comments. If I am, I will catch up later, I promise. Right. So she's going to sit there. Now my brain's working faster than my hands and arms, which isn't a good thing. So from this set, so there's 3 in here that work really well with these colours. I'm hoping that shows up properly on screen. I'm going to grab the white because I want it, and then we're going to grab these as well. So this is the Moonlight fluorescent set, the Sakura Gelly Rolls. There's 12 in there. Epic, love them. So, I'm going to take her out of the way. Like I say, the only reason I'm not sticking her down yet is because I want to be absolutely sure of where I'm putting her. You know? I'll just go a bit quiet for a sec because I think this is a concentration thing. And then I'll keep the colours all handy. And then if I want to do some edging or some scribbles, because, you know, have I even been here if I didn't? I'm going to swap that colour for the pink. It's more rare, you know. Anybody got any projects they're doing at the moment? You've changed her name. So, do you know, of all the things I think that would upset Sarah Lou, I think if you got her name a bit wrong by accident, I don't think that's going to be up there. Just don't, you know? I think it's just a bit unusual, like, to use the sort of the neon colours with on the Kraft. Yeah, it's just kind of unusual, isn't it? And there's nothing specific, like where I'm. And then when you pop her there, like it just all sort of goes. You know? Just realised I made a noise like an iPhone then. That wasn't quite my intention, but here we are. I might have to put a bit of something under that because it's annoying me that it won't stick. But I haven't decided. The thing with these pens are, they stand out on it. So if you're using these in your black journal, they stand out on anything. They are just a standout pen. What can I say? Right, she's going to come back over there because shock horror. Oh, sorry, I just need to grab a piece of paper that hasn't got writing all over it. Let's just grab one of these. I'll put that there for now. So, we're going to do all the colours up there. COVID's made your legs stop. That's amazing. Is that a side effect that you knew was going to happen? If it is, that's impressive. So with the next colour, I'm just going to move down a little bit. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with like a horrible... No purple spray required. So again, amazing. Oh, she's cool. I think I'm just going to grab the white just to make her eye pop. I'm a little bit in love with it. I know you're not meant to, but here we are. And I'm almost at the point, hello ladies, the rain's coming again, just brace yourself. I am almost at the point, ladies, where there is not going to be, there might not be a sentiment. There might not. Ultra thick gel medium. Just called for it, you know. And then I'm going to do something. See that bit of tape there, look. Haha, I win. That's just going to sit there for a second while we're talking. What else can we use? Bit of texture paste. That's just going to sit there for a second while we're talking. I'll maybe make it straight though. Just for a minute. Yeah, I absolutely love this. I'm just going to grab I think it surprised me. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like shocked or anything, but you know, it's just nice when you do something and it works in a slightly different way to how you thought it was going to. And the great thing about a page like this is because there's zingalicious, because there is sort of a standout part, because the colour is so zingalicious. Joe, let's use your word. Because the colour is so zingalicious, it means that that's going to stay enough for you to look at it now. It means that it sort of speaks for itself. It doesn't need me to do anything to it. It doesn't need me to rescue it, as it were, because the work's done just in the colour, if that makes sense. But essentially, we haven't used anything new, or we haven't made anything, if that makes sense. Yes, we've done the page, and yes, we've put the page together. But it was all based around a scrap piece of paper that was about a quarter of the size of the page. And being able to base your pages on that, sorry, the rain's getting heavier again, being able to base your pages on something like that, it's just quite nice sometimes, you know? No need for a sentiment. She looks the silent type. I think she might be a little bit judgy, if I'm honest. I just think she might. Okay. So yeah, I feel like we've sort of, it's happened and we've arrived at the destination of the page perhaps a little earlier. You've got sunshine. Yeah, we've got that fake sunshine. It's pretending to be sunny, but it's raining. Please share. Yeah, we've sort of got here a bit quicker than normal. But I'm not putting anything else on there. That's it. The great thing about that for me is that I did have, there we go, so I've still got a piece left over, which means I could still base another page around that, I reckon. But I think it's good just to sometimes get the fodder box out, have a look at what you've got in there, and just use some of the things that are around you, and see what you get. Here comes the sun. There's a song about that. Here comes the sun. Yeah. So there you go. I'm done. As always, it's a pleasure, nay, a privilege to spend the afternoon with you. That means a second page. Not today, but yes, it does mean a second page. I'll show you. I'll do something. Maybe I'll do something different over there with that, so that it ties in, but it's entirely different. But that's going to take some thinking, because I've got washi tape that I can use with it now. You know, all of those things. As always, oh hi Izzy. As always, sorry for anyone who doesn't join my live sometimes. Izzy, my cat, is about to jump on the table. You're not meant to be there. Thank you so much for having me. You are absolutely wonderful. And I think I'm the only one today. Is he not? Have a lovely rest of your day. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.